Monsters, what's up? Let me get to my comments here. And then we will get started. Alright. Feeling a bit better. Still got remnants of a cold. You guys can probably tell in my voice. But I think I sound 100 times better than I did last week. That's for sure. I feel a little bit better. Although I had a coughing fit last night. Wait for a few people to get on in, and then we'll get started. I freshened up the welcome page. All right. What's up, Reginaldo Rodriguez de Cunha? Hopefully I said that right. How you doing? From Brazil. Nice to have you in here. We're gonna wait for a few more people, then we'll get started. Was definitely an interesting week. Can't wait to talk to you all about it. How you all doing? Y'all doing better? The sickness has been going around. Hit me bad, man. This whole week I wasn't feeling really well at all. Like I said, we'll wait for a few more people to get up on in here, and then we'll get the show started properly. How's the weather in Brazil, Reginaldo? Fab Daddy, what's up? Yeah, a little bit better. I'm feeling a little bit better, Fab Daddy. Nice to have you in here. No inglés? ¿Estás lloviendo, Reginaldo? Let's see. Wait for a couple more people, then we'll get started. I refreshed the welcome page there a little bit, add a little bit of color, did what I did. ¿Cómo estás, Reginaldo? Yes. You go back and forth between English and Spanish, man. I love it. Yeah, let's wait for a few more people to get on in. Mick T, what's up, bro? We were just talking about having another hot tub, man. It's just really tough with Bernie's schedule. She only gets one day off a week. So, it's kind of rough going. Tudo ótimo. ¿Qué hablas, Reginaldo? ¿Portuguese o español? I'm at. What's your native tongue, Reginaldo? Let's wait for a couple more people to get on in, and then we'll get started. Hit the like button if you haven't already. Portuguese, yeah. I don't know Portuguese. Yeah. I'm not big on Portuguese. I speak a little bit of Spanish, but yeah, I knew Portuguese was the native tongue of Brazil. But all right, we'll wait for a couple more people to get on in, and then we'll get started. Make sure you hit the like button if you haven't already. I should follow my own advice. And then we'll get started. We'll get started with it was a productive week. Let's just put it that way. We got a lot accomplished, K-Dot and I. So I'll talk about that along with the comments, obviously, and what the plans are going forward. John Denicola, welcome on into chat, sir. Make sure you tickle that like button. Get more people in here. We're going to start very shortly. I'll wait for one or two more people. What is the next topic with K-Dot? The horror show was good. We're going to do Rosemary's Baby, McT. I mean, that was not my choice. It's not one of my favorites. But we'll talk about it because there's definitely some stuff to talk about when it comes to Rosemary's Baby. How are you feeling? John, I'm doing better. Fab Daddy says I sound better. I still got a bunch of like nasal congestion and chest congestion. Last night I had a coughing fit. Um, but I'm feeling better. I'm up and around and doing stuff. There were a couple of days where I really thought I had COVID and thought I might have to see myself into the hospital. But luckily that didn't come to pass, and uh, I'm feeling better. To answer your question, John, without dancing around things. All right, let's go ahead and get started with the show. Like I said, make sure you guys and gals hit that like button. It always helps bringing more people in. But let's get started. We got lots to talk about. Welcome everybody into the MLH Comment Show for the 1st of April 23rd. Do you guys do any April Fool's prank? I thought of this elaborate scheme where I would tell you this is my last day on YouTube and all that BS, but I can't even lie to you guys in that fashion. I can't tell even the whitest of lies. So there's no April Fool's pranks here. This is just me and the comment show. I, of course, am MLH. Welcome, everybody. McT, Reginaldo from Brazil, Fab Daddy, John Denicola, and then anybody else that I missed. And there'll be more people as we go along here, I'm sure. Sometimes those notifications don't get out till seemingly forever. But, we will we'll continue on here. It was an interesting week, guys, and I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit about it, but why don't we go ahead and get on with the comments here? It's what you guys came for. By the way, this is the only show that I know of that goes through all the comments through the week. If I had like 200,000 subscribers or something, there's no way I could go through every comment, but I plan on doing this show because I think it's a good way of connecting with you all, and I get to on a one-on-one basis get with you guys and gals and kind of let you guys know that I appreciate you guys commenting, etc. So why don't we start at the bottom here with Fab Daddy, who I believe is in chat, who says, "Holy moly, you sound horrible. Get well soon." Thank you very much, Fab Daddy. That was on the last comment show. I do feel a bit better. Like I was saying, there was a couple of days where I didn't feel too well. Pamela Dixon from Lexington, Kentucky. Welcome on in to the comment show. Appreciate you being on in here. We got a lot to cover, for sure. Like I said, this is the only show of its kind where I basically go over your comments. I've yet to see anybody do this, and I'm surprised. I think this is a great way of, carving out time for your audience and connecting on a one-on-one basis. So, hope you guys and gals appreciate the show as much as I appreciate you guys being in here. All right, we're going to go on with Michelle's comment, who says, The Shining is a classic, and that's in reference to a podcast I did with the great K-Dot, in which we basically did a deep dive into The Shining. Fab Daddy asked me earlier about, I think it was Fab, or Mick T actually was the one that asked me, what are you guys going to do next? We're doing Rosemary's Baby next, and that was K-Dot's choice. It's definitely not one of my. It's a horror classic, but I don't know. I'm not a big fan of that movie, but I will be doing a deep dive on that movie because there are some themes in that movie to definitely talk about it. Pamela says you need to drink a lot of hot tea. It sounds really good at the moment, actually, Pamela. Tea and water, right? A lot of water. She says The Shining's a classic. So thank you, Michelle, for commenting on the previous comment show. And, you guys need to comment on all my videos. I will, give you a shout out on this comment show. So, if you could take a second, to comment on any of my videos, I will definitely, give you a shout out on the comment show. All right, Pelone, one of the OGs, says always praying for you. Thank you very much, Pelone. Need all I can get, man. I'm getting better. I am getting better. I will say that. I was down for a couple of days, but feel much better. Can we do a comparison with the movie Chud? John Denicola says, I used to love that movie, John. Then I saw it as an adult, and I was like, what was the big deal about that movie? Maybe I'll dive into that at some point, John Denicola, because it's kind of a cult classic, right? Yeah, I might do that. That's I'll put that on the list, John, for sure. Transparency time on my post about the shooting at the Aurora Mall says no problem. Your health is more important. Anything's going on out there than anything going on out there. Keep up with the great updates and great videos and the great education you put on your channel. Keeping these public servants in check. I will continue to do so. Transparency time for the foreseeable future. I've got too much work to do. There's a lot to be done. John says, like the faces of death. You know what, John Denicola? Bernie and I, speaking of that, we were kind of flipping through our Roku last night, and that was one of the ones that came up. And faces of death is interesting. Like there's, I remember as a kid watching that as well and being like horrified. And again, I saw that movie as an adult, and I was equal parts amused and horrified because, most of the stuff that's in Faces of Death is totally fake. There are a few things. I don't like the animal torture stuff. I don't like, seeing death like on camera. That's never a good thing to me, So that's an interesting one to delve into, but I don't know if we'll be doing that one anytime soon because I'd have to go back and watch it again, and that's one of those movies that I think you watch once or twice, and I think I'm good. Johnny Bravo on the same post says, sorry to hear that about the shooting at the Aurora Mall. We did go to the Aurora Mall. There's a lot of interesting things that went on with that shooting. There was a kid that got killed at the Aurora Mall. We were there the next day. Police oddly weren't there, and it was strange because the prior night they had a big press conference with the chief of police, which I'll be talking about in a minute too. What's up, Howard County? Nice to have you in here. Hope your day is going great. So a lot of problems in Aurora right now, guys, and we're addressing as much as we can. And I'll talk more about that in a minute. Gimmickless. On my post about an ice monster on my roof, it was really weird. I came home and there was this icicle formation on the front of the house that looked like sort of like an alien or a monster hand. Like, I don't know, it was just really, really odd. And I decided to take a picture and show you all. So thank you, Gimmickless. He says only a matter of time till it gets someone. I know it was kind of creepy, man. I mean, it was a lot bigger than the picture showed as well. It was like kind of crazy. Eric Warwick, same post, gave me a laughing emoji. Kind of cool to see. It was a cool little moment in time. Transparency, same picture, says, did that appear after your live stream panel with KDOT? Great picture of the ice monster coming off of your roof. Yes, it did. I think it was shortly after, like maybe the next day or something. Yeah, MLH, not DMA. I'm definitely not DMA, Howard County. I don't get arrested. Howard County, that's that's the main difference. McDonald says on the same thing, Defier of Gravity, unbelievable. Yeah, it was weird. It was just a really cool, I don't know, just a cool picture to take. Immortal Eotech says Plagas, and that's a reference to, I believe that's a reference to Resident Evil 4, and that does kind of remind me of that, like the Plagas from Resident Evil 4. So, yeah. Harry Nuts chimed in, says maybe a little food coloring could transform that into something wicked. I didn't even think of that, Harry. If you guys haven't subbed to Harry Nuts, make sure you sub. Janet, welcome. It's not too often I get blessed with the presence of the great Janet Matson. Thank you very much, Janet, for coming on in. Really, really appreciate you and everything that you do. No apologies needed, Howard County. It's all good. I'm the better looking one as well. Just to let you know. Fab Daddy, on my poll, I put out a poll basically saying, should police evaluations reviews be public knowledge? And it was like yes, no, and I think I put in one depends. The poll overwhelmingly said that should be public knowledge, and I do believe it should be public knowledge. You know, police evaluations are vital for the public to kind of know what's going on with them, and how, you know, how they're doing. And you know what, from what I've seen, I mean, the police should have no, I mean, the reason I put up this poll is because I've been getting a hard time from the city of Aurora which reminds me, after this I got to email the chief on some of the files that were redacted, and they're fighting me at every turn to show the evaluations for these police. They said they made a mistake on one, and I said, what mistake are you guys making? I mean, these are great evaluations according to you guys. You guys should be very, very proud. I'll talk about that in a minute, because I actually had a meeting with the chief. KDOT and I had a meeting with the chief of police, and I don't want to talk in detail what we talked about, but there was a lot to garner from that meeting. So I'll talk to you guys about that in a minute. But overwhelmingly, the majority of you guys think that they should be public knowledge, and they are public knowledge. I've gotten evaluations from other cities and haven't had too much of a hard time. But when it comes to Aurora, they're so tight-lipped. But we'll talk more about that. Jonathan Mazzilli says absolutely 100. Everything they do is public interest. Plus, the psychologists should be from outside the department, and in an elected position, they should also keep canine records. I totally agree with that, Jonathan. There's lots to be gathered by the evaluations of themselves, and trust me, the one evaluation I got from Aurora told me a lot, and it was for Sergeant Douglas. You guys know that piece of crap officer that we've been having a hard time with. There's a lot to garner from those things. Some deep problems within the department could be seen via that evaluation. But I'll talk more about that. Howard County says, had some houses flattened here from tornadoes. Oh, are you in Arkansas, Howard County? Might go check out the damage soon. I never post things anymore, so still not sure if I should. Absolutely you should, Howard County. Absolutely. That's public interest, Howard County. Those are stories that you know, the local news will cover for about 5 seconds, and then they're on to the other, you know, the next story. You absolutely should Indiana. You absolutely should cover it, Howard County. Absolutely 100. Get out there, get your camera, and report on what you're seeing. No doubt. I mean, I report on everything here in Denver. Like if there's a car wreck that I see, if somebody gets pulled over, if there's a fire, I mean, you absolutely should get your camera out and report on that. I would. I would definitely be out there for sure. No doubt. That's something that the public wouldn't normally get. and you definitely need to get out there. Now, if there's dead bodies or something, that's something different, you know. Transparency Time says definitely need to be more transparent, and I agree with you guys on that. Let's see if we have any held for review comments. Those are usually pretty interesting. Doesn't look like we have any, so nobody said any bad words or thought ill of me or anything like that, so that's really cool. Let's go to the mentions. See if anybody mentioned me. Dragonette mentioned me 6 days ago. Officer involved shooting. I didn't see this one. I don't know which officer involved shooting, if that was local or it was in a different place. Dragonette, I'll have to check out that video after. Also, she mentioned me in a detention officer fired for breaking a man's nose and eye socket. And if this is the one that oh no, this happened. Look at, here we go, Howard County, Monroe County, Indiana. I don't know if that's close to where you are, Howard County, but that's a video that happened in your neck of the woods. I didn't get a chance to see this one. I saw one that happened in Aurora. Would you like me to swear for you? Sure, John. No problem. Go for it. Do it in the comments, and then I'll get to show comments with offensive language type deal. You know, appreciate the mentions, Dragonette, for sure. So, all right, let's get back to talking about what happened this week. So, on the surface, it seems like it was a very uneventful week. As far as the channel goes, but nothing could be further from the truth. Last week, I reported on a double shooting at East High School in Denver. I don't know if you guys saw that video. It was fairly uneventful, other than there was a shooting. I couldn't get any information because I couldn't find the PIO. I did find out that it was a student that shot two teachers. Both of them were in critical conditions. I think they both pulled through, which thankfully they did. The suspect obviously ran. It was a student, and he was found 2.5 miles away. They say by suicide, but I mean, how do we know that the cops didn't shoot him? You know, I mean, it happens all the time. You know, so it is what it is. Wasn't there a young guy who was shot over sunglasses? I think you're referring to the Aurora Mall shooting, John. I covered that as well. I wasn't there that night, but we talked about how, KDOT and I were kind of concerned about the rhetoric that was coming from the police chief's, the interim Aurora police chief's mouth. And he talked about chasing kids, and kids are criminals, and we need to have curfews, and, you know, all this stuff that he was spewing out. And meanwhile, the incident happened at 7:59. So I'm like, what good would a curfew have done? I mean, I told him to his face, what do you want to do? Have a curfew at noon and all the kids are supposed to be inside by noon? You know, I mean, you curfews do work if you implement them properly, but I don't see how a curfew could have helped in that situation. You know, it's just really weird. Do you guys have curfews for kids where you are? Like, and if so, what's the cutoff? What do you think is a good time for kids to be at their house? You know, I mean, 10 o'clock, 8 o'clock, you know, 9 o'clock. What do you guys think is a good time? I'm not opposed to curfews. Like I told the chief, I think they're okay, and they do good, you know, for kids. But what is a what's a good cutoff time to have kids out in the wild? You know, I mean, I guess that's the age old question. So maybe I'll do that as a poll after I get done with this show. I'll put out a straw poll. You know, what's a good curfew time for kids? You know, so yeah, like I mentioned, we had a meeting with the Aurora police chief, and boy oh boy did we ever have a good conversation. Are we back? Let's see. I feel like parents should dictate that. I agree. Um, hopefully we're back. I mean, I'm having some problems with the connection here. I don't know what the hell's going on. I think it's my modem. Um, we have largely unenforced curfews. It's 9 p.m. I think that's pretty reasonable. I mean, the only reason that I think curfews are okay, um, off and on audio. Uh, shit. What the hell? Is it any better now? Okay, momentarily. We'll wrap this up real quick here, guys. All right, Sasquatch, my good friend Sasquatch. Sasquatch, I sent you a text message. I hope you got it. We have largely unenforced curfews. It's 9 p.m. I think that's reasonable, and it's mostly for parents. It's mostly for parents to say, hey, it's getting close to your curfew, or other adults, hey, it's 9 o'clock. You know, you should probably get back home, and that's usually a pretty good deterrent. As a kid, it was home when the street light came on. Yep, same here, Fab Daddy. Heaven forbid that police not escalate a situation over sunglasses. Yeah, John, it's crazy. It's crazy. Let's see. Afternoon. Okay. I think we're caught up on chat. So, to kind of summarize, guys, real quick, we had a really productive meeting with the Aurora police chief, and the guy's actually, on the surface, seems like a good guy and wants to do the right things. I mean, there was a little bit of cop-splaining on a couple of things and stuff like that, but and I don't want to get too much into details of what we talked about because, some of it is kind of confidential. But are we skipping still? Jesus. Ugh. All right. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and end this, guys. Then I'm sorry for the. Oh, you rebooted. Much better. Okay. Getting every other word. Try refreshing. Try refreshing, y'all. Let's see. Let's see. Good here on your end. Yeah. See. Try refreshing, John. Yeah. So we talked about a lot of things. I think we spent an hour and a half, which is unheard of, to talk to a police chief, right? How many police chiefs will even give you the time to talk with them? Usually they're so I was appreciative of that, and he was actually very perceptive to what we were telling him about his rhetoric and how it came across as very, very non-community oriented. It was all about cops, 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 and nothing about the community. What's up, Jonathan? Nice to have you in here. Had to do an update yesterday, fix some issues I was having. Yeah, I don't know what's going on here. I know part of it is my modem. I just got to get a new modem. This modem's been flaky since I got it, but I will try to work on that this week. Jonathan, nice to have you in here, man. I've already went over all the comments. We're just talking about a conversation that KDOT and I had with the chief of police in Aurora, and it was very productive. Like, he understood what we were saying about his rhetoric. He disagreed on a few points, but obviously, if we can't be men and have disagreements and talk about them, then who are we? You know what we should talk about real quickly? And I don't normally do this. I'm not into the politics and all that bullshit. I can't stand Democrats. I can't stand Republicans. Not the people that are Republicans or Democrats, but the politicians. I should clarify. I don't like politicians, right? But what do you guys think about this indictment of the former prez? I didn't get a notification, but I got a heart comment from you. And I was like, wait, it's Saturday. Yeah. See, I mean, I don't understand, Jonathan. Sometimes people get notifications. Sometimes they don't. And, I'm just happy to have whoever I get in here. And, I always appreciate you guys being on in here and enjoying the show. So, for sure, Jonathan, I appreciate you seeing that and coming on in, My thoughts are as follows. I've always thought, I don't know how you guys feel about the former president. I've always thought before he was a president, he was a piece of shit. You know, everything from the Central Park 5 full page ad that he took out. It goes even beyond that. Like, he's had a history of racism and saying controversial, stupid things that just make him, just in my eyes, just not a good person. And when he became president, I understood why he became president, because he wasn't a politician, and that's what people liked about him, right? But I mean, even though he wasn't a politician, he was saying one thing and doing another, you know, and that's exactly what a politician does. So, in essence, he became a politician, and that's something I just can't get with, you know. I mean, his history is just appalling and atrocious, you know. Wow. Thank you for the Cash App. Really appreciate that. Really, really appreciate that. That's going to go a long ways for water. So, really appreciate that. Personal feelings aside, my mama taught me not to accuse anybody of anything unless I had the proof. Proof is in the pudding, Jonathan. I mean, the full-page ad calling for the execution of 5 innocent people. And then when asked about it later, dude still wanted them killed, even though they were innocent. He said they probably did something. I mean, those are thought crimes. I mean, that's exactly what the police do all the time, right? They think you're doing something and they pull you over, and if you're not doing it, I mean, it could escalate. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's a dangerous thing. Melissa, thank you so much for your contribution. She said, yeah. If you're gonna kill the king, you better. But if you're gonna hit the king, you better kill the king. Oh yeah, no doubt, Jonathan. Now let's talk about this first indictment. This first indictment's a joke, in my opinion. I mean, it really is. I mean, they're trying to tie campaign finance violations to payments to a porn star, which, by the way, shows his character. I mean, ugh, you know, gross. You're paying hush money. You cheated on your wife. Like, I mean, I could go into all the more morality stuff, you know, but obviously people didn't care. But no, this first set of indictments, I don't believe there's any teeth to it. I do think there's the rhetoric on January 6th was pretty horrific. The election BS in Georgia. You know, we'll see. I mean, that's why this country is as great as it is, right? Due process. I agree with you, Jonathan. Let's let due process go through and see what happens. I happen to feel like these first charges are going to be dropped. Pretty sure. So, but so like I said, it was an eventful week. As far as this coming week, I've got record requests which are being denied left and right, which is another story for the ages, which I will compile and I will tell you all about. The thing that bothers me the most is they sent me a set of in Aurora. They sent me a set of you know, evaluations and appraisals, I guess, or reviews, if you will, for one officer, and then they realized that they gave me that information. And then the next officer, I tried to get his evaluations, and it was all redacted. And I looked at the Colorado statutes, and I'm like, you guys better give me this information, because otherwise we're going to go to court, and I'm going to get it. So I did talk to the chief about it, and he is going to talk to legal about it. And I told him, I was like, and I know the legal people over there and their salaries. I'm like, if you want me to embarrass her, Chief, then I will. I mean, I don't want to get to the point where I have to go to court for this, but I know if I do go to court, I'm going to win. I'm going to win this, and you will show me those evaluations, you know. So, you know, it's up to them. Do they want a legal battle that they can't win, or do they just give me the information and we go from there? Because I've already exposed some huge issues, which I explained to the chief, about the hiring process, about their evaluations, about their training. I mean, I laid it all out on the line yesterday in that meeting, and he was very perceptive to a lot of it. The only problem is I don't know if he's going to be the permanent chief or if he's just going to be an interim chief. So, I mean, there's a lot to uncover, but I don't want to take too much of you guys' time today. Melissa, trust me when I tell you that I will definitely. It's been a while since I actually handed out water, and I'm gonna make it a mission to do that, and I will do that this week, thanks to you. I wasn't feeling too good last week, so I didn't get a chance to do a lot of homeless outreach, but that's something that I will forever do. I know a lot lately you guys haven't seen it on camera because I think it's too narcissistic to just show you guys that I'm, doing this great deed and all this. It makes it kind of disingenuous, in my opinion. So I don't necessarily put it all on camera. If you want me to, Melissa, I will buy the water and I will put it on camera, but for the most part, I like to keep that. I'll tell you guys I did it, and you guys know I've done it how many times before. I mean, at this point, it's in the hundreds. So, I think you guys can trust that I get the job done. But if you want more of that on camera, I mean, if that's something you guys want to see, just let me know, and I will, I will show you, the despair. It is really rough, and that's another reason why I tend lately not to show you guys on camera the homeless outreach, because it's hard, it's rough, it's rough, it wears on me mentally, and I can't imagine you guys watching this on camera, seeing this day in, day out, these people struggling to survive. It's really hard in the winter. And luckily we're kind of getting out of the winter, but that doesn't mean it's any less harrowing. It just means that the weather's a little bit better, so it's a little easier on the body. No need to. I trust you. Yeah, I mean, Melissa, my reputation precedes itself. I don't really. That's another reason why I was like, I don't like to all the time be on camera showing you guys that I'm doing this, because to me, you should just want to do it out of the kindness of your heart, and not because you want to impress your friends or even give the impression that that's what you're doing. And that's really why I do what I do, and I do appreciate you, Melissa, for sure. Jonathan, thanks for the emojis, man. Really appreciate it. But I'm gonna wrap it up here, guys and gals. This week should be a little more productive. I feel a little bit better. I'm still got some head congestion, some chest congestion, but I'm able to function, and that's all that matters. I mean, I'll get out there a little bit more. That's why I stopped posting things, so I get it. I would suggest keep posting stuff, Howard County, but like if it's a vanity project, like if you're thinking that you're going to be the next YouTube star, I mean, there's a few around here in the Denver area that love to be on camera and love those clicks and views, and they suck it all in. And I honestly, I mean, K-Dot and I talk about this all the time. We are a couple of dudes that are trying to do the right thing, and clicks and views be damned, right? I mean, that should never, and I've told people in this area, that should never be your priority. If you're trying to help the community and you're trying to help people in general, the way to do it is not to worry about your clicks and views. The way to do it is to get out there and do the damn hard work, and stop worrying about who's watching you, and what you could do to make your videos get more clicks, and what time you should put your videos out. I don't give a fuck about any of all that. What I care about is helping the people in the Denver metro area, and actually getting some shit done. I think K-Dot and I are making some headway in Aurora, I've done a lot of work in Denver and the surrounding area. I am happy. Nice to see you. Really, really appreciate you. Nice to see you in there. I don't want fame, Howard County. Yeah, I agree. I'm, you know, it's funny because I have been noticed in my community. Like, I've had people come up to me and say, "Hey, are you MLH?" Yeah, yeah. That's it's like, man, I really love your work and blah blah blah. Can I take a picture? Blah blah. Blah. Yes, of course. I'm approachable. But I've got work to do. I mean, I'm not there to be a celebrity. I'm there to help the people of Denver, to help the people of Aurora, to make change, to actual change. These politicians aren't going to do it. It was weird. There was a shooting in Nashville, and I saw a politician. I don't know if he was a Democrat or a Republican. I mean, it really doesn't matter. They're all the same. But he said, "We're not going to do anything about it." And I was like, you know what? That is about the most honest thing I've ever heard a politician say. We're not going to do anything about it. So, it's not up to politicians. It's up to us. It's up to us to fix and make things better. But anyways, what's up, Gimmickless? I went over your comments already. I already did all the comments. I didn't have a ton. But I always appreciate your thoughtful comments and everybody else's thoughtful comments when you put a comment. So that's the way to help this show, is to comment. Watch a random video and comment on it. I'm not saying spend all your time watching my videos and comment on everything, but pick a random video and comment. If I did something wrong, then obviously let me know. If I did something right, same thing. Let me know. I always appreciate that, and I always appreciate you guys' input. It's the reason why I do this show. The only reason that this show continues is because of your guys' comments. So I think later on in the day, I'm going to have a straw poll about curfews, so you guys can look out for that. I will try to get out and do more content this week. I know I haven't been big on the cop watching stuff because I've been busy. Well, first I've been sick, so I'm trying to get over that. But also I've been busy with records request and just a bunch of stuff. So, been super. Hey, K-Dot, there's the man of the hour right there. Gimmickless says, yeah, I've been super busy lately. Worked till 7 p.m. yesterday. Yeah, isn't everybody working longer schedules? It seems like, Gimmickless. I mean, it's the way that things are going. The corporations are crushing the average American. I mean, they're paying less than they ever did before, and they want more out of you. They want you to work the long hours and pay you pennies on the dollar. I mean, that's kind of how it's going. But anyways, hit the like button on you guys' way out. I really appreciate everybody. I'm gonna leave it short because my voice is still kind of, my throat's still hurting a little bit. I still got a little chest congestion and sinus congestion, stuff like that. But I'm gonna let you guys get on to your weekend. I hope you guys have a great weekend. Make sure you be kind to others. Be like Melissa. Donate to somebody that can, give water. If you yourself can't hand out water to the homeless, then donate to somebody that will. Whether it's me or someone else. Get out there. You'll feel better about yourself. Be kind to others. Be kind to your family, and most importantly, be kind to yourself. I think that's all I got for you guys this week. I will be back next week for sure. Try not to do too many shenanigans on April Fools today, guys. I mean, it's like it's. I mean, that's for when you're a little kid. It's not. Don't go fooling people. Thinking that you lost your job. I did that one time to my parents, and I felt awful. I was like, oh man, I lost my job. They were feeling so bad for me, and it was an April Fool's prank a few years ago, and I'm like, I felt terrible. I just feel terrible when I do stuff like that. But anyways, have a great week, everybody. I'll see you guys, obviously this week. K-Dot and I will be, I'm sure, doing something at some point. Be looking forward to a podcast with K-Dot and I where we're going to do an in-depth analysis of this movie called Rosemary's Baby, which K-Dot specifically requested. So can't wait to do that. That'll be fun. The Twitch show was pretty good yesterday. Don't forget to plug it. Oh, you mean the RP Grinders? I do that. That's a thing that I've been doing for about 15 years. Gimmickless video games. If you guys are into video games, check out RP Grinders on either YouTube or Twitch. Twitch is where everybody goes in the chat and has a good time. So twitch.tv/RP Grinders, and I do that live every Friday 7 Eastern time. So if you guys like video games, you want to hear 3 nerdy dudes talk about video games, then check out that show. So thanks, Gimmickless, for that. I really appreciate that. Working more, making less, Jonathan says. Yep, for sure, man, for sure. It's Skodoma. Oh yeah, really? How many times have you changed your moniker, Skodoma? Yeah, Skodoma, that's crazy, man. I really appreciate that. Means a lot, Skodoma. I've been doing that show for 15 years, so a lot of history there. I do like video games. Good morning, Transparency Time. I already went over your comments. I really do appreciate it. Sorry you had to be at the end of the show, but I gotta run, man. I'm starting to feel like real congested. I need to take some medicine and stuff like that. Hope you guys have a good rest of the day. Like I said, be good to others, be good to your family, but most importantly, be good to yourself. Later, everybody, have a great weekend. Anybody watching WrestleMania this weekend? Email me if you are. Take care, everybody. Have a great week, and see you on the next one. Later, everybody.